Oh. Alright everybody, today I'm going to be trying something a little bit different. I'm going to take Ken here and work him with Lady. It's really good to swap horses around. Swap horses around, swap sides around. When a horse can work either side with any horse, it's just so much more productive than if you've got a horse that's stuck in just one certain side or one needs to work with that one mate. So that's what we're going to do today. We had some more breakdowns yesterday I will tell you about. Probably you're getting sick of me talking about my breakdowns because I've had quite a few of lately, and my wife said you're gonna be sick of that, and I said, well, I'm sick of it too. But so I hope I don't bore you with more breakdowns, but that is what we're dealing with right at the moment. So I will explain that to you as we go along our day. So let's go logging. Come here.
I've been having some troubles with Lady turning around in the trailer. This is a while ago now, and just want to let everybody know she's turning really good and totally comfortable coming out of the trailer once again. So I'm very pleased with that. I think she was just scared of something and it just took a little time for her to get over it. But she's doing great now. Now I'm backing Ken out of the trailer, and like I've said in other videos, he's too tall, so I have to take his hames off his collar to be able to get him out.
Alright.
Apparently, Lady is coming into heat. She's with Bill all the time and she doesn't cause any troubles, but with a new horse, it makes a difference. So now I have to put Ken's harness back in place. By flipping the britchin up on his butt, I can get the hames on easier. And then I put the britchin back down in place. I haven't worked these two together for quite some time, and except for Lady's showing a little bit of her heat, they're working quite good so far. So here's the breakdown from yesterday. I broke my new bunk right off. Let's go to yesterday, and I've got a short clip of what happened.
Hi everybody. Okay, I just had another breakdown, so I want to show you this breakdown I got. Calf step. I broke the scoot again. I was loaded and didn't think about it until now to try to tape it. Just have my phone, but anyways, we had a pretty major breakdown on my scoot. I took 3 logs out already. I had broke down, well, I'll just wait and I'll show you here what's going on. Oh. There you go. Okay, so what happened is I had a major breakdown here, and I had 3 more logs on top. I've already skidded them off and took them to the landing, and now I have to come back. Now I'm back here and I'm going to get the other 6 logs. I'll take 3 out each hitch, but what happened is this new repair job that I had done. Nothing against the guy that made the repair, because he welded it fine, but this plate of steel right here snapped right in half. Right there. There was a plate there welded to the bunk. So there's the bunk dug in the ground, plowed down through a ways for even stop the horses. But anyways, it's not good. So that whole bunk is off the scoot, and it's because that plate steel snapped right in half. I am not sure why, but it looks like we're done using the scoop probably for this winter. It's getting so late in the year. We also, I noticed, probably when I pulled the logs off, the top 3 logs off, I broke the front of the runner too. So it's not looking good. Finally thought I had it fixed and fixed good, and then that happened. So anyways, as late in the year as it is, I probably will just start skidding on the ground and using the arch again some. And I tell you, every different way we try things, there's good things and there's bad things about it too. So I just wish it wasn't quite such a long skid. I would just use the cart and run them back and forth, because that works really good. But with this distance, I was hoping to find some way to make a bigger load out. But anyways, we'll get the horses turned around and hitch onto these top 3 here and run them out, and then hitch on the bottom 3, run them out, and then come back in and pull the scoot out. That's about all we can do. So anyways, I'll keep you updated on what's going on. Okay, we made it up into this landing. For those of you viewers that are new to my channel, this is a log job that's a long skid. So I actually have 2 landings. I have a landing here and then the one down where the log truck will come and pick up my logs. This landing, I've tried several things this year. Sometimes I just skid it out with the cart, the logs. Other times I use the dray, which is right there. But I've also was using the scoot until I broke it. But so to this morning, we have a bunch of logs in here that are short cut logs. So they're really too short for the dray. So I think I'm going to grab a few of those and take out my first hitch by just grabbing some of them, I think. Maybe I'll take a couple of the long ones also, just because it's easier to get to. Actually, if I just started the excavator up, that'd be better. Yeah, so let's see if she'll start. So here we are inside my excavator. I have glow plugs on here, fortunately. And I'll let them heat things up a little bit. And we'll see if she'll start up. It's in the lower teens this morning, so when it starts up that easy, it makes me happy, even though it stalls. But that's not a problem. We'll just hit the glow plugs again and then she'll start up and run after that, I expect. So now I'll just move the horses out of the way and pull a few of these logs over to be able to skid them out. Okay, so I threw 4 logs over here. I just threw the short ones because I'll be using the dray from now on mostly, I think. So that works better with the long stuff, so I wanted to get some of these short ones out of here. So I would just run a load down right now. When I have horses, all the time, first thing in the morning, it's nice to just hitch on a load and go if I can, because they have the energy early morning. And then after that, it's nice to be able to cut logs, and while I'm cutting, they can be resting. There's a little bit of work to do down on the landing. I'll start the skid steer up and pile logs, but you just can't push horses all day long. If you do, you got to take lighter and lighter loads. The old saying, "Go light and go light, go often," is a great saying, but I generally do not do that. Usually I'm logging alone, so I can take big loads and go less often, and while I'm cutting my logs for the next hitch, they're resting, so that allows them to have the energy to go with a bigger load and just take out less loads but bigger loads. So I actually produce, I feel, more that way. When I have somebody helping me and we just have one team, one cutter, then they've kind of got to go light and go often. But this has worked great for me over the years. So I have 4 logs here. I do want to show you something real quick that I'm sure most of you know, but maybe not everybody. I like to double up my logs when I have pieces like this. When you have hardwood logs, especially something like beech, which is right here, they're slippery. They're, you know, if you're going up and down hills, especially, the chains will loosen up and you'll lose logs. So what I've done quite often, and it seems to help quite a bit, is I will double them up. So I'm not sure if you can see, but I have a chain here, and the chain goes around here, and the slip hook is right here, and it's pointing towards this log here, and then I have this chain here goes underneath that log, and then I go towards the front like that, and then I'll hitch this on to the cart, and this will tighten up as we start up, and then I'll shorten up the chain. Okay, over here it's the same thing. I've already got this chain on, this hook on. I'm going to hold it so you can see it better. So I have this chain on with the hook here. You always, whether you're pulling a single log or doubling them up, you always have the hook this way, so the chain, when it's pulling, is against here, and it's not like, well, you know, if I took that out the opposite way, it'd be pulling more in this area here, which would be good. So you have to have it pulling right here. So it's pulling like that. So, alright guys, back. But what I'm going to do now is slide this chain underneath this log here. Make sure it's all the way back. And then you go through the front of the chain first to the back. Like that. This is not the only way to do it. There's other ways. Other people have different ways of placing their chain. But by doing this, you're less apt to lose a hitch or a log as you're heading down the trail. So I like to do that quite often. So anyways, we'll get hitched on and run this down the lane. This is not a normal hitch for me, the way this is set up, but because there's 4 wide, it really helps pack a trail and does a nice job with that. But also, I'm going to show you something that when you're doubling up chains like this, it uses up a lot of chains. So you end up, these are 12-foot chains, and by doubling this one here up, it still wasn't long enough. So I have on all my chains a slip hook on that end and a grab hook on this end. So because of that, I can have my other chain up here and connect that together, which I just lost, and then we can go out with that. But I can't get it one-handed very good, so I'll have to put the phone down and get it. So, but anyways, that's what I'm going to do. Another thing, if you look, ho guys, ho lady, if you look, this whole hitch is kind of headed towards my right, and because as on my trail is sidling, and that's where logs tend to slide anyways, I've got to be careful with that because I'll be hitting trees. So these chains, these 2 chains that are pulling these 2 logs, I will set them over a couple notches over here so that it pulls the logs away from that lower side. So we'll hitch on and get this out of this and head to the landing.
So I'm done for the morning. This is Saturday and I decided I'm just going to work a half a day in the woods. I have to get some hay for the cows, so that's what I'm going to go do now after I get the horses in the trailer and take them home and give them some lunch, and I'm going to have some lunch myself. So after a good lunch, I went and got a bale of hay. This is the wrap bale, so I took the wrap off and I cut the strings and threw a chain around it. And now I'm just going to drag it up the road to the cows. Because it's a wet bale, I think it holds together better. So by taking the strings off, I was able to get there without losing hardly any of the hay. Even dragging it down the blacktop, it pretty well stayed all together until I got out there. We haven't fed any round bales to the cows out in the pasture for quite a while now. We've been feeding square bales inside. But we decided to feed a little bit. We found a couple bales that weren't quite of the best quality. We decided to take this out to the field, but there's quite a lot of snow to go through, but we'll see if we can manage all right.
You guys ready for this? I'm glad you didn't ask me to do that.
Oh, there's a hole there.
So much for the fence. I don't think you have to worry about it for a day or two.
Even though we haven't fed the cows out here for a while, they sure know what we have with us. They're headed right our way. Cows walk through this spot to get their water. There's a stream, or actually a spring out here. So they keep it somewhat packed down. Didn't know if I'd be able to get the hay rack out from underneath the snow, but it wasn't bad at all to get. Well, I was very pleased how well Ken and Lady did working together. And I think the cows are awful pleased too that we finally got some hay out here for them. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.